All right, guys. Thank you for joining me again tonight. Appreciate it. Appreciate you for those of you that followed me over. So tonight, man, we're gonna jump right into it. I like how guys bring over the Rapture Ready. The movie contest is gonna be next either Monday or Tuesday. I'm gonna do a live stream. It's gonna be again, it's gonna be somewhere along in there with the live stream. I'm gonna throw the movie question out there. So again, you have to watch the whole thing or half of it to find out. But again, that's next week. So, and also that's the other thing too. I'm not gonna announce them all the time. It could be fucking the middle of the month next month, and I just might blurt out a question. So, you know that's uh, that's one thing. I guess I like to keep people guessing. Plus, I don't want to make it a constant thing. So I said about once a month. At the end of the month, I'm gonna run um, the contest, but the questions could be, if it's once a month, it's going to be the middle of the month, most likely the end, but it could be the middle of the month, it could be anywhere. So just keep that in mind. So today's topic, guys, is the laptop real? Not is it, but the laptop is real. Biden's response to a chemical attack, China's security deal with the Pacific Island, was it Solomon, and Chinese ready to partner with Muslim worlds, or Muslim countries rather. Sorry. So the Hunter Biden laptop is real. Again, guys, for those of us that knew it was real, for those of us that were saying it was real, we had people saying it's not real, it's a conspiracy theory, it's a lie. That computer doesn't exist. I know a lot of you heard that before. And then they had, all of this information that was on it that was just too. You couldn't make some of that shit up. I mean, listen, you can make anything up, but you couldn't make that up, right? And they were like, no, that's not real. And why would the why would Biden take the computer? That's one part of me. I have to be honest. One part of me, guys, is like, why the fuck would Hunter take his laptop to a computer shop with all of that shit on it? Well, at least with the porn, with the kitty pictures. Why would he do that? Sorry, right? Why would he do that? And I mean, granted, he is a crackhead and he is stupid and he makes poor judgments. I don't even think a crackhead would be that stupid, but whatever. Not the point. The point is the laptop's real. That means all the incriminating shit that's on it should be real as well. Mainstream media, and I know a couple of you guys are saying, yeah, crazy how they misformed. But mainstream media is the reason why. Listen, I'm pretty sure there were people in mainstream media that knew this laptop was real, but because they were being told by their bosses or the higher up to say that it's not real, that's why it got out there. And that's when that whole conspiracy theory started, for those of us who believe that it was real. Um, the problem, guys, again, and maybe this is by design. I don't know. Maybe this is by design. But mainstream media telling us that the computer was fake and now it's real, and then having to admit that it's real, our trust in mainstream media for a lot of us doesn't exist. But now this is sort of like the fucking nail in the coffin. Because then what do you believe? Now every time they tell us some shit, we got to be skeptical about it. They could tell us tomorrow, yo, they're launching a nuke and it's headed towards fucking New York City. I'm going to be skeptical. I'm going to be like, I don't believe them. Right? That's how bad it's getting. It's getting to that point where you don't want to fucking believe them, and no matter what they say. But you also can't take that stance with everything. So, you know, it's a bit of a fucking a tough place to be in. Now, with that being said, guys, where's this going to go? Right? This laptop is out. There was incriminating shit on it, according to the laptop repair guy, who, by the way, is interestingly enough, all of a sudden bankrupt, right? And can't keep his store open. So with that, guys, where do we go from here? How are we now supposed to focus on anything else when this should be the main focus? This actually, if this has the information that it has on it, this should actually be impeaching Biden, right? They went after Trump for bullshit. This should absolutely be an impeachment process for Biden, because the shit that was on it also had a lot of Ukraine shit on it. The deals that he was making in Ukraine. So, again, I think this is a bit off with this whole thing. And the fact that they're not focusing on it, and then Of course, the laptop comes out of nowhere, and Biden says, "I gotta go to Brussels. See you guys later." Right? Oh, I'm in Poland today. You know what? I'm not coming back to the United States ever again. Of course he is. I'm just saying his timing was fucking, coincidental, if you ask me. Now, Biden's response to the chemical threat, or rather the possibility, of Russia using chemical weapons in Ukraine. Of course, Biden turns up the heat and is like, if you guys use chemical weapons, we're going to use them back on you. Or at least their troops. But I don't know if they're going to launch those chemical weapons in Russia, or they're going to launch them at the troops in the Russian troops in the Ukraine. That's the bigger question, because no one asked that. Not only did no one ask that, but they didn't. I mean, they're not going to tell us what their plan's going to be. You're not going to tell your enemy, "Hey, we're going to send chemical warheads to your country, or maybe your soldiers." They're just going to do what needs to be done. Now, it was a loose threat. It was a loose threat, guys, because with that, he says, well, if Russia uses chemical weapons, we're going to use it back if the outcome is bad. First of all, who uses chemical weapons and has a good outcome? That's one. Two, that's sort of a pussyfooting threat. You're like, well, you know what? We're going to use these weapons if Russia uses them, if Russia kills more than 100,000 people. Like, who the fuck... that? You just said you were going to use them if they used them, but then you walk it back a little bit by saying, well, if the outcome's bad, then we'll use it. That's the dumbest thing I ever fucking heard, man. Yeah, Alex Jones I don't like Alex Jones. I'm not a big fan of the guy at all. But, yeah, a lot of the shit he says is coming forward. I listen to Alex Jones when I'm in the mood to being yelled at. If I'm not in the mood to be yelled at, I'll listen to somebody else, like, Pinball. Pinball is really fucking good, and is killing it right now. Prepper Now is another one that I would rather listen to. Those guys are not going to yell at me. Fucking Alex Jones is always yelling at somebody for like no fucking reason at all. He's just on his mic screaming into it. Whatever. But like I said, I do listen to him. When I'm in the mood to be yelled at, I listen to him. Bobby Collins. Today's Friday. I made the comment Thursday. Or if I got that wrong on one of my videos, I apologize. But I meant today. Someone says, turn down the volume when you listen to Alex Jones. Probably. That's probably what I have to do. Or Bear Independent. That's another guy I listen to. Right. When I want to listen to this shit, I listen to Bear as well. So listen, there's a lot of other people I listen to, because a lot of this shit, guys, is like, it's not really my wheelhouse. I'm getting into it for this channel, for the purpose of this channel. But some of the shit that they report, I'm like, dude, they have their finger on the pulse. Now, with that being said, the Chinese security deal that China made with the, Solomon Island, right, which is some crazy shit like 900 little islands. They made they're in the talks right now for making a security agreement. So the agreement wasn't signed yet. It's about to be signed, and they're working this out with China. Now, keep in mind, the Solomon Island also has a security deal or security agreement with New Zealand and Australia. So this puts Australia and New Zealand in a bad way. Why would the Chinese government go to this island and go, hey, we want to make a security deal with you, and we'll offer you X, Y, and Z? Now, why Australia and New Zealand are at odds, or they're rattled, if you will, by this agreement, is because of the hard security provisions that are in the deal that they don't like. One of the provisions in the deal are that they are allowed to send over police force if Solomon requested, and set up a military base on one of the Solomon Islands. Now, keep in mind, there's 900 of them, so they can set up anywhere. And they're 900 little islands, guys. I mean, islands where you could probably throw a rock from one side to the next, and islands as big as New York City. I don't think they have one as big as New York City. Oh, Manhattan, sorry. Actually, no, I think they do. I think they have one that's about the size of Manhattan. But anyway, point is, guys, is that China is expanding their military post. They're reaching out, and now they're in the Pacific, which is bad. Which, again, Australia and New Zealand said is bad for the United States, because if they put a military installation in, that means they can put a nuclear installation there. And if the Solomon Islands agrees to it, there's nothing the United States can do about it, or New Zealand, or Australia for that matter. Right. So now, with that, guys, China strikes a partner deal with the Solomon Islands. Right. This is from the Solomon president. The Solomon president or prime minister. Sorry. The government recognizes that the state's responsibility of protecting its people from fear to live in dignity. This is from Sugavar, which is the prime minister, or sorry, president of Solomon Island. This is, guys, a standard answer from anybody who's taking a deal that's not the likely deal. When you have words like recognize the state's responsibility for protecting its people from fear and to live in dignity. What fear are they protecting their people from? Who? Who is Solomon Island protecting their people from? Is there a band of fucking pirates roaming around the Pacific Ocean right now, ready to attack the island? I don't know. Right? Lava, bye-bye Hawaii. That sounds about right. So that right there, guys, was a bullshit answer, or explanation, sorry, that the Prime Minister or President of Solomon Island called it. Australia and New Zealand are two of the countries part of the Five Eyes Alliance. Also, Fiji is a part of that, the Five Eyes Alliance as well. Sorry. Now, Australia, Fiji, and New Zealand have all provided security personnel in the Solomon Islands as a police force that helped quell national riots last year, which I didn't know that these people had a fucking riot. Whatever. But the new agreement, the Chinese agreement, would give them the opportunities to supply its own muscle if the Solomon Islands requested it. In addition to police, they can build, like I said before, a military base. Now, Australia is probably looking at fucking Solomon Islands like, wait, you guys want a more authoritative country than us? Because that's what China really is. China is really fucking an authoritative country. And so the Solomon Islands is inviting this segue of problems to their islands. This is where Solomon Islands is going to pay for this. They're going to regret this down the line, obviously. And then for us, tactically or military-wise, weapons-wise, this is going to present a problem to the United States. Obviously, it puts them closer to attacking Hawaii if they wanted to, and it also puts them closer to the United States, if I'm not mistaken. This is a big fucking problem. But, again, there are a few articles out there. You have to search for this to find it. This is not some shit that mainstream media is talking about. It's not some shit that other people are talking about. You have to go out and look for it. Now, here is the interesting comment or speech that one of the foreign minister of China made. His name is Wang Yi, right? So he is the Chinese state counselor and foreign minister, and he says that China is ready to partner with Muslim countries. With that, guys, China said they're ready to build partnership with the Islamic world for promotion of I had to look this up, multipolar world and democracy and international relations, as well as for unity and cooperation. Unity and cooperation, guys. They are building their empire, or expanding their empire and their friendship, if you will, out further. They are getting more people into their gang, right? So, though a lot of Muslim countries hate the United States, China is using that to their advantage, and they're being very methodical and smart about it. I hate to say it. I hate to say that they're being smart, but that's what it is. These people are fucking moving mountains right now and making deals all over the place. Remember, China last year made a deal with Iran, right? Yes, Tommy Young, China does want more resources, yes, because they are running out of numerous resources, but not all resources in China. That is true. But some of these alliances they're making don't make any sense. You know, and the way they're making them don't make any sense. Listen, for resources, you can make certain deals, but to make certain security agreements, um, provided that you're gonna provide them with police force and military, that's a little more than what I thought. You could say, oh, guys, listen, sell them. We need, I don't know, we need shrimp. I don't know if they get shrimp there. Just bear with me. We need shrimp, and that's all. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we'll give you shrimp if you give us some chopsticks, and then China sends us. That's like the deals for resources you make, not some fucking shit where you're talking about building military structures on your island. China is all over Jamaica just as they dumped the monarchy. No shit. Yeah, China, listen, China's trying to buy up as much land as they can. Look what they did in the United States. They started out in the fucking Midwest, and they're expanding from there. So they're doing what they're doing, man. Up in Canada, I still have AMC. I don't know what I'm waiting for. You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for this summer to see what the movies do in the movie theaters to see if they bring up the AMC stock. Different subject altogether. Anyway, China is ready. This is Wang Yi, the Chinese state counselor. China is ready to build 4 partnerships with Islamic countries. We should be partners of unity and cooperation. We need to be partners in development and revitalization. Very interesting. We need to be safe and stable partners. Again, this is Wang Yi, who addressed special guests at a ceremony of the 48th sessions of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Council. He goes on to say, he also said China was ready to work with Islamic countries to promote a multipolar world, democracy and international relations, and diversity of human civilization. This is, keeping in mind, guys, this is Wang Yi saying diversity of human civilization. These fucking people hate Africans, and they hate the Uyghur people in their country, and they're using this language. All right, and to make unremitting efforts to build a community with the shared future of for mankind. For mankind. This is China using this fucking language. Now, for those people who don't know what multipolar means or multipolar system is, it's a system in which power is distributed to at least 3 military capabilities and able to back or disrupt major political agreements threatening their major interest. All right, guys? That's what multipolar system means. It's a system in which power is distributed to at least 3 significant poles concentrating wealth and or military capabilities and able to block and disrupt major political agreements. That means, guys, that they are gearing up for more than natural resources. And when they use the language of multipolar systems in his speech to the 48th session of the Islamic Corporation, that means, guys, they are looking to eventually get enough power to start disrupting the United States, UK, Australia, New Zealand, the countries that they feared and not or didn't like for years. This is what this is boiling down to. Now, when you say that China will continue to, now get this, guys, China will continue to support Islamic countries in applying Islamic wisdom to solve contemporary hotspot issues and firmly hold in our hands the key to maintaining stability and promoting peace. Guys, this sounds like bullshit to me. This all sounds like, listen, it's China, so we know it's bullshit, but this sounds like pure bullshit to me. Anyway, moreover, get this bullshit. Moreover, he said China supports Russia and the Ukraine in continuing peace talks for the sake of a ceasefire to end the war and peace. Mars Gates, I think this is a new world order, but from the Chinese standards, or at the Chinese standards, rather, sorry. The new world order, guys, is supposed to be everybody getting together, putting their hands in the pot and coming up with an idea. Well, I think that Russia wants their own new world orders while they're working with China and they're working with all these countries that they would have never worked with fucking 3, 4, 5 years ago. And now they're getting together and they're all coming together. The Muslim countries that he's talking about are the Muslim countries that are not our allies, and that are our enemies. So we have, guys, undoubtedly a bigger issue that is starting to mold itself into something that's going to happen down the line. Now, whether we go into a full world war in the next couple of weeks to months, or we go into some kind of fucking, I don't know, invasion style um, event here in the United States, something is definitely coming with all of these countries all of a sudden making peace, getting along, and fucking making security agreement deals around the world. There is a problem. And I hope people are paying close attention to all this bullshit. Tommy M, exactly. Monetary war is right now. It's going on right now. They might be looking to break us monetarily by doing all of these deals. There is a bigger fucking problem, and we're probably not even looking at it. So, guys, this is the part I found very interesting. The Wang Yi, called for deepening preemptive counterterrorism and de-radicalization cooperation, rejecting double standards in counterterrorism, and opposing the linking terrorism with any particular ethnic group or religion. So China, again, who treats their own Muslims like shit because they don't believe in their religious beliefs, are now saying that they want to oppose linking any terrorist group to any particular ethnic group or religion. All right, whatever, guys. Again, they are definitely working an angle. They're working an angle, and they're working it fucking hard. And people need to fucking look past it. Now, another friend, World War III might be coming, but it might not be the way we're thinking. Now that I'm doing like all of this reading, I'm looking at all this shit that's going on, I'm looking at all these back deals being made, I don't think World War III is going to be the way we're looking at it. I think it might be something else. But I think this something else might be a lot worse for us and other countries like us. Dakota Hayes, I don't know. I mean, we definitely got to fucking stick up for ourselves. That's for fucking sure. But we're not. And, by the way, if anybody's interested in the article so you could read it for yourself, because it's a lot, I'm going to put it in the chat here, and then I'm going to put it in the comment section below. Hey, Jaffet, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining me tonight. But I will be going off the air in a couple of minutes. Yeah, guys, so again, this is just a lot of interesting shit that's going on. And if you type in security agreement or China agreements with other countries, you're going to pull up a lot of articles on shit that's going on and other deals that they're making. Meanwhile, guys, again, we're not privy to a lot of this shit because we're not researching it. But if you research it and you see what's going on, you're like, shit, this ain't good. This ain't good. All of a sudden, now fucking China's opening their hearts to Muslim countries. I mean, all these years, now they're doing it. We have all of these things happening, guys. Now all of a sudden, China's fucking like, yo, we wanna be friends with you, and we wanna be friends with you, and we wanna be friends with you. All of a sudden, that's a red flag, guys. And that war might not look like what we think it might. It might be something way worse, financially crushing our system, or EMP or some shit. But nonetheless, I don't think it's going to be what we are thinking it's going to be. I think it's going to be something worse. Angela, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Again, it's just one of those things that, and this article, by the way, that I put in the chat, I found it by accident. I started reading it, and I was like, very fucking interesting. And yes, Andrea, thank you for bringing that up. China treats their own people like shit. Now all of a sudden, they have their arms open and they're loving to the Muslim community. Like, and this is, guys, the language they use is the liberal language that people use here in the United States, that they use to the Muslim world to get them on their side. And if any country, Muslim country out there, or Islamic country, out there, is listening to this guy, they have to know he's full of shit. Period. He has to know he's full of shit. All of a sudden, they're like, oh my God, we're going to open up our legs to you. Like, seriously. Well, live your life. I don't think the United States has been in charge for a long time. I think we appeared to be in charge, but I don't think we're in charge. I think somebody else has been in charge for a very long time. Anyway, with that, guys, that was pretty fucking fast. But I wanted to get this out of the way. I wanted to talk about it because I can't believe some of the shit that's going on and some of the shit that we are not hearing about. Uh, yes. So, all right, NJ Prepper, thank you for bringing that up. I'm pretty sure somebody else did. But I did hear something about the draft earlier today. Is that true? Are they working on it? Because who are they going to draft? Do they see these motherfuckers out here? Some of these guys are built like fucking 10-year-old schoolgirls. There's no way they're going to be able to pick up a rifle. Shit, man, they won't even be able to pick up a grenade without falling over. So if the draft is something they're talking about, then my suspicions, and this is one suspicion, this is a theory, guys, conspiracy theory. My theory is that we might not be going nuclear, we might be going boots on the ground. And Biden flying over to Brussels and Poland was to talk a deal out about having boots on the ground, even with Russia. Now, granted, we're not going to know that meeting with Russia he had on the phone. But if he went over there to work out this deal, because they are flying troops overseas, troops are amassing in over in Poland and I think Germany. If the troops are gathering there, and Biden during the worst time possible flew over there, and then they're talking about a draft, I think we might be seeing boots on the ground. You will own nothing and speak Chinese. I think so. But again, guys, that's just my fucking, my little bullshit take on it. I don't, it's just something that just doesn't sound right. So our boy Hemingway said he basically told the 82nd Airborne in Poland that they were going to go to Ukraine. Listen, guys, again, if this does happen, this is going to be an ugly, drawn-out fight. Ugly and drawn out. But I think that there's a little more behind the scenes going on than we think. I don't think, listen, Biden could fucking launch it tomorrow, right? But I don't think that's it. I think something else is going on, and there's a deal being struck. But that's me. Someone says UN, deep state, yeah, listen, I think the World Economic Forum wants to get rid of the UN. If you look at the World Economic Forum panel and you look who's up there, I think there is one or two UN, but they're ex-UN employees. They no longer work with the UN. I think if you look at that, that's a lot to be said. But again, it was FEMA commercial that mentioned a draft. Rapture Ready said it was a FEMA commercial that mentioned a draft, because I heard it somewhere else today too, but it wasn't from FEMA. But maybe that's where they got it from. All right, so maybe that's... Yeah, a new beginning. I know. Star Fury, thank you for the donation. The draft is real. Well, yes, we know the draft is real, but the draft hasn't been implemented in a very long time. Right? I think, was it Vietnam was the last time, right? The rich, yes, and live your life. The rich won't be drafted. So... I don't know, man. It was on Why on. Andrew said India did not go for China's request. All right, that's a good thing, I guess. But they were striking a deal with India, or were going to. Okay, so Bulldog Prepper said Bear Independent was talking about the draft. Maybe that's where I got it from. Or maybe someone heard the last part of draft beer, or the first part rather, said draft, and oh my god, they're gonna implement the draft. Who knows? But nonetheless, guys, if that's the talk, that's not good. That's all I can say. If FEMA's talking about it, if the president mentions it, that is not good. A lot of our kids are gonna go to a senseless fucking war. I mean, my kids are too young, so, and my older guy, he might make the cut, but I don't know. We have to wait and see, guys. Wars and rumors of wars. Yeah, listen, guys. Unfortunately, we won't know until whatever kicks off. Like I said in the Angry Prepper, it's great to... I wish I would know some shit, like I had some hard concrete evidence in front of me, but we don't. Everything we hear is rumor, and everything we hear, we start connecting the dots later on, or we start connecting the dots before it actually comes to fruition. But then when we talk about it before it actually happens, we look like psych patients. And then when it happens, we can always go, "Aha, I told you," right? But again, that's a different boat. That's a different situation for a different day. So Monday or Tuesday I'll be doing a live stream. I'm going to be talking about the NYC. Thanks, Crazy Joe, for the donation. I'm going to be talking about how the New York City mayor lifted the ban on athletes to play in sports and performers to play in theaters without being vaccinated, but is leaving city workers out to dry. That's going to be That's going to be Monday or Tuesday, either or. But I'm going to tell you right now, Eric Adams is getting his ass handed to him over that whole fucking Novak shit. So that's a good thing to watch. Andrew said Brandon warned China not to give Russia one penny. I think China's already given Russia what they needed. You know, maybe not monetarily, but he definitely gave them more than what they need. Lava, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. All right, guys. So other than that, I'm going to call it quits tonight. Thank you for joining me. Again, I put the article in the chat, guys. Read it for yourself. And someone said China was kissing up to India. All right. I'm going to look more into that when I get home tonight. But yeah, guys, like I said, a lot of shit going on. And it's hard to fucking account for everything that's going on. It really does. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys either Monday or Tuesday. Thank you.